out in the yard and in the garage.
Yeah.
It's almost like every spot in the house had its own personality.
Yeah, sure did.
Its own unique energy. There was this variety of living human emotions and deceased human emotion. The older woman in the house feels very, almost, I would say, obligated to help because she says, now I understand that it would be right to. Then there is this, we got the validation of the other relative that passed, it was a great uncle, correct? That,
yes.
And
He hung himself.
so there's this energy, but he's just now, he wants to guard and protect, especially the females of the family. He just wants to protect, and that's going to be his soul's decision and mission. And there's just all this other energy in the space, living, some deceased, a few people that I don't know where they're coming from, but something out in that backyard felt very intense. I got that Winchester Mystery House vibe in that whole back part of the yard.
Yeah, the teepee.
So, like, from the teepee to the shed, all felt like Mrs. Winchester's seance room.
Yep.
That's just the energy I felt with it, and I can't quantify why I felt that way yet. But it was very, very intense. I feel a lot of human emotion that is feeding off of some of the history of the land and of the house. Some of the toxic energy of the house is bringing down the living humans and making them feel less confident, less stable. So what I think that we kind of need to sort of get a little more validation from the family, we need to get a little more validation with our meters and some other devices.
Absolutely.
So we can reboot and clear the energy of the space to get it back to what it should have been from the get-go, although I don't know if it's ever fully had the energy of a perfect loving home, but it deserves to have that now.
Okay.
It's basically, whether it had never had it in from the get-gate, it doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve it, and the family doesn't deserve it at this point. What I almost hear is the cycle has to end now, and the volatility has to end now. And it basically, the home deserves love finally, and I believe that this is the time for it to change. It's now time. It's time for the home and the people to finally have peace and to finally have love and to finally just feel right. So if you guys want to kind of validate now, what do you know about the house, the land? What have you experienced?
Yeah, I had to take a minute because what you said really.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Before the house, or even these houses in this area were built, the Sutter High School was here.
Oh.
And it burnt down.
Oh.
So, but this area.
What? Sorry.
But this area.
What?
You let me live here?
Okay, the
Like
bus.
Shyamalan's West. Fuck, dude.
Well, were there people in it, or did it just
Let me
burn down?
finish. So the bus barn is right here. Sutter High School bus barn.
Okay.
So we are actually where we're at was the parking lot.
Okay.
Okay, and when I was a child, they did a lot of yard work, and this was from 76 to whatever, 86. We dug up a lot of cement, a lot of different things. I don't know anything about, I do know that people, I think that people got hurt. I'm not exactly sure.
During the fire?
Yeah,
so there could be a little bit of residual energy from that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I felt a lot of weird stuff back there.
Yeah, so we
It was
dug
all
up a lot of
back there.
cement and a lot of cement. It took a lot to get this backyard. Well, it was
Structure.
beautiful at one time, but yeah, we dug up a lot of stuff. So,
Okay.
so that's just kind of the history of the house.
Okay.
My great grandmother actually went to Sutter High on the wagon,
Oh.
Wow.
horse and wagon type thing. So
That's awesome.
yeah, our history is
Long family history here.
Live Oak, Sutter. Type
Oh, yeah.
area. So yeah, so that's kind of the history of the ground.
Okay.
So they built these FHA houses.
Yeah.
There was two styles. You could see them if you
Yeah.
were to roam around. Anything that doesn't look like either the window in the back or the window in the kitchen is a new house.
Okay.
So these were all built around 76, 78. So, and they've had the house ever since. So I grew up here from 6 years old until 18, 20 years old.
Okay.
So.
Oh, so you're,
Yeah.
you know everything about
And then my dad still owns this house.
Okay.
And he lets Megan and, whoever needs, wants to
That's
stay
awesome.
here.
So that energy of him, that living now, I felt just
That's him.
taking care of somebody, not really saying much about it. Just I'm just gonna help
So
you.
you're just
Yes.
Just shut up. I'm gonna
That
help
was
you.
totally my dad.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's still that
He's
way.
a man of
Few words.
few words. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Well, but when he has an opinion,
Well,
he has an opinion.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Well, 'cause
But he only
seems
brings
a
it out when he has to.
He
Right.
seems,
Feels
he
he
seems
has
a
to.
little stubborn and a little set in his ways, is what
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
Yes, of course.
It'll help you out if he can.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
He can't really, or I mean he could, but he has trouble even coming here to pick up the mail.
So your denial is him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
As soon as he could, he left.
when I came back from my deployment, the house, it's weird because when houses don't get lived in, they die way faster than if you're using them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shh, Mason. He's a Taurus. He just bumps into everything.
I am too.
So he's just,
Funny bone.
he's just funny bone. Anyway.
It's just his funny bone.
Yeah, no,
It's not funny.
It's
Yeah, right. Funny.
No, but so lately I've been actually driving his mail out there because you can just see it. He'll show up for 2 seconds and then leave.
And he just
So
he
is
can't
it
be here.
is it the energy or is it the memory of the past that is haunting him?
I think
wish he
it's
would tell
probably because he will obviously
It could
I
be
think-
both. It could be both.
I'm being told that it's the memories that are making him not want to be near it.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
what-
just he
that's
doesn't
what I'm
ever
hearing.
want to think about it.
Yeah.
It's
But he doesn't want to throw anything away.
Yeah,
I don't want that couch in '96. Okay.
Oh, I got you
Nice.
beat. I have a couch in my house that's from the 60s.
You do?
Oh, but is it like broke?
Broken.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's normal then.
it's her pet couch.
Yeah,
The pets occupy it.
belongs to the pets now.
I've always felt that these living spaces are kind of like almost this weird shrine. And that's why I try to make my living area as much as me as I can, but it's I still have this giant, just like this one, I don't know if it's oak or what kind of chestnut, I don't freaking know. But it's the same thing.
Hutch.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful hut.
Wow, it's
though.
really
No, it is, and same with the one that's in the room that I'm staying at, but I can't, there's only like the limitations that I can do to it, which I mean, I'm understanding, I'm grateful that I'm here, it's just,
My
Oh,
mom
it
was very
sucks.
proud of
Yeah.
this chest, and it's got his trinkets, her trinkets.
Well,
Paris. I
Paris, it says
I
it on
lit
the
it. Every
tombstone.
time I come here, I light it.
Tombstone.
Wow.
We'll always
gotta
have
have-
Paris.
yeah.
That's
Wow.
why when he walks in, he wants to see
Show
he
your
wants to see
artifacts.
development within the family, but he also wants to see
The
the
past.
perseverance.
Well,
how it
maybe
was.
Yeah.
maybe there's a way to blend the two a little bit gradually. and
Well, as you
slowly.
can see, that's what's happening.
Like,
but at the
we
same
put a
time,
chair-
when there's no counterpart, I feel like for him, he's lost. He's drawn out. We've had
She always told
our
him
family
what to
functions have been less or more. Or everything is there's
Well, we have to reach out to him because she did all that. So
there's
Yeah.
she was the connecting activity between everyone coming together, doing things for every holiday, every kind of situation that we had.
Yeah.
She was just like that glue.
or he made him go. She made him go.
do. Yeah.
No, exactly.
So that kind of is sort of validating then for a lot of that energy of she was trying to feed me and dote and take care of that sort of her vibration is that let's do all of that, let's do those connective things.
Yeah.
My childhood was different, but when she had grandchildren, and these are the first children, so he's the firstborn, she's the second.
I
So
got
that's
the
very probably important to what you feel probably,
Yeah.
and her not only being an enabler,
Yeah.
but she.
Aw.
Yeah.
That was it.
He didn't
But
talk
he-
till he was 2. 'Cause he didn't
I
Yeah,
threw-
he
I
didn't
threw
have
a-
to,
I threw a
right?
Bart doll from The Simpsons into Ellis Lake and she went and fetched it. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, like
So that's
she loved me.
validating. to her
Well, no,
personality.
I was only like 15. No, I'm kidding. I was like 3. I was 3.
Oh.
She had a different approach when it came to grandchildren. So.
Okay. So the energy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say enabling.
Yeah.
I could see enabling on both sides. My dad and my mom. Just so
Yeah.
I thought I'd say that in
Yep.
different
Yeah.
things.
In different ways, yeah,
Right, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the energy that we felt in each room, what we felt and kind of picked up on, do those things resonate for each of those rooms? Like, what can you connect to? What dots can you connect?
First. All right, so
Yeah,
let's
please.
go in the press.
I was like, you said I go first, and then you're gonna talk.
Hold on. Yeah, sorry.
No,
Competition. There's no.
Well, I started with your room, so you
You're not
can.
wrong.
Yeah, it was, I don't even know what to say. I was just nodding my head because everything you're saying was right. Like, well, when you first walked in, you were kind of, before the cameras were even on, you said something about, you just looked at me and you said, you probably have dreams. Like, I can't sleep.
Yeah. Your sleep is not sound,
No.
because those dreams are pretty intense.
Oh yeah. Not in a good way.
No,
So.
that's not good.
These are memory. These are actual flashbacks, is what I'm being told. They're flashbacks.
I was gonna ask if it could be PTSD.
Yeah, it's flashback stuff, and some of it, and then there's of course the energy of the house that's leaking in, and it sort of marries together, and makes this mess in your your
I'll
brain.
sit in my car for like 15 minutes before I come inside.
Oh, we gotta fix that.
We've got to fix the hell out of this.
'Cause,
So after I moved out, my brother, I think he moved in there because it was a bigger room, and then it turned into computer room, and there was two separate computers, one for my mom, one for my dad, and of course the closet was hers.
Yeah.
And that's how it was until she passed. And then when Megan and Morgan or Mason decided to move in, and, I mean obviously we cleaned some of the stuff out. So I mean that could be something too. I don't know. It was a computer room, and tons of her stuff was in there. More stuff in that room than in the actual room.
Yeah.
When she was alive, maybe she even felt some of the energy, that portally energy in the bedroom, and just didn't want to be in there as much either. I mean, that avoidance.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. Or she was creating it with her own energy too.
Yeah, right.
Because
Yeah.
living agents can create energy in a space. You can dump your own toxicity into a space for a long period of time and change the energy of the space. And then when new family moves in, then you start to absorb
Yeah.
all of that energy, and
Whatever they were going through,
they're
then
like,
you
"Oh."
go through it.
Well, I would really feel it when I would leave because I'm still in the reserves or whatever. So when I leave places for a couple weeks or even months, I come back, and if you don't live in a space, it starts to smell like it did before. Every house smells different, which is super
Nose
weird.
blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I would walk back in, it
Nose
would be like
blindness.
me going back to this house when I was little. Like I would smell my grandma, and it was just.
Yeah.
Just a little
So I'd
bit
lit
too
like
much.
incense and be like, should I paint? Like, what the hell do I do to get rid of it? Because it was just.
Lots of air freshener.
Yeah, that thing that squirts every 5 seconds that
That
scares the shit out
scares
of
you more
me.
than anything.
So I'm like, ah! But it's.
You get startled by those things.
I'm sorry. You'll hear it.
So when we smudge, you'll probably find that to be almost a relieving smell, because it sort of smells like energy breaking apart. It's sort of a relief for a
It
lot of
smells
people.
like hope.
Yeah. So and it's a little intense. It's what I have tons of stuff in my smudge, but that part, my cleansings are very comprehensive. So you'll get to enjoy that. I'll be breaking out incense, holy water, smudge, burnables, clearing some energies, trying to block some energies, shutting down
Maybe a
that
couple
portal.
of rocks.
I have some rocks that are going to be very good for you people.
Okay. Well, I actually, so before this, I think it was right
Those are
before,
wild, yeah,
right
when
before
signed us up.
So I went on the S.P.I.R.I.T website, and
Oh.
yeah, it was my fault that everyone moved out of this house apparently. I went on your guys' site to get I went on Amazon and got the 4 things that you kind of bury in the
good.
corners of the
Oh, good.
yard, kind of thing. I should have
Okay.
went way out there, but I didn't want to walk all the way out there at the time.
Did you smudge before you gridded?
No.
Oh.
Oh. So I'm keeping them inside, aren't
So
I?
you funneled
Yeah,
it into the house,
No,
yeah.
I tried.
You trapped them.
So because
Well, hey, that's why you guys are here.
That's right.
For sake, we got them.
Release them, please.
Yes, I can fix that. Even with the grid, I can still fix it. The cleansing document is meant to be done in order. So you probably just skip down to, sort of skip the steps. You skip
Skip to the end.
Skip to the end. And
Gas on that portal, baby.
it's okay. It's still fixable. We can fix it. We actually don't even have to really regrid. What I just have to do is push everything out and then energetically connect to her grid.
Okay.
And we'll just talk to her grid
Reconnect.
and reboot the grid. It's like a computer reboot, essentially.
Yeah.
But
Do you
when
know
we-
which rocks you put in there?
Probably ones I told
I
you.
can look on my Amazon history.
Oh,
but before
the
you
ones
guys
off of
said-
it. Okay.
There, selenite,
Yes. I actually have
rose
3 out of
quartz.
the 4 on my nightstand.
I
I don't know the names.
I will
It's
look.
big words.
I will look at them.
Big
There's
words.
white aragonite.
assess your
Were you
rocks?
able to find white aragonite? Because that's a
Yes.
hell of a one to find.
You can find anything on Amazon.
Yes.
It might have been fake though, honestly. So
Wish.com.
maybe things aren't stuck in here. Maybe it's just.
Yeah,
Hi, Melissa. I'm so sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
That's why we are here.
It's okay. We can reboot you regardless. And if you decide you want us to regrid, I have all of the correct and authentic stones, and we absolutely can regrid if you want us to. I I really feel like we just need to push stuff out.
Yeah.
It really needs to be pushed out, and then I need to probably sit with you for a good 5 minutes and work on your energy, at least just to do a little roto-rooter. Because I think that's important.
Yeah, it'll help so
Oh my
much.
god. Mason, stop.
I will. And maybe I need to reboot you.
You reboot both of us, all three of us.
Yeah. Before I do a blessing, I do anoint everyone anyway. Just to help.
Put a little
so
bubble of
but I'll
joy.
do a little
Yeah.
extra. What I think we should do too is just you guys can validate a couple more of the things that you felt. Like maybe you can talk about the room that why you didn't like it, and then we'll do a meter walkthrough.
Yep.
Okay, for sure.
I was really shocked that Mason wanted to be in that room. Him and my mom were really close, so maybe I thought that was why. But I don't know. I just really and then I felt, well, maybe you want to be closer to grandma. I don't know. So I just felt it was weird that he was in there. Just saying.
Yeah.
Because I still felt like weird about it. Because coming back home was always fine, but when she passed away, it was I didn't want to come here. And then when I was
No one
here,
does.
and then I would
No
go,
one
well, no,
does.
I'm just saying, I know that's normal. But then going in that room and talking to him while he's playing video games, it felt stifling,
Not
It
good.
just kind of
Yeah,
felt
it's
weird,
great.
even though a window was open type thing. So, anytime I could get the heck out of there. And a lot of times I wasn't even allowed in that room, to be honest, so maybe that could have been it too.
Yeah.
It was just being in that room and not really being allowed to go in their room unless there was a reason.
And then now your son wasn't there.
And now my son's in there, and I'm like, hey,
I'm not even allowed to go in there.
yeah, so that could be it
before
too, but I just thought it
Dungeons,
was interesting that he wanted to be in that room, and I thought, well, why isn't Megan? I don't know.
No, it's because I was like, oh, well,
I
Max,
gave
you
her
have
the
that
choice.
room, I'll
No,
have that
that's
one. Mason, you
understandable.
get your own bathroom, but I told him it's so I didn't have to clean up his crap in the bathroom. Well, really, I'm not going to sleep in that damn room. There's no way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so you
It's
said.
I can
Yeah.
barely be in this house, let alone in that room.
And I'm not exactly sure, I don't think that my children, and of course, there's a third, my son Morgan, ever really
man.
witnessed maybe what, that ever, the bad things that may have happened. Of course I did.
Yeah.
I know, of course, that passed. I know they stayed together out of necessity, I think.
Yeah.
They slept in separate beds, only because my dad would toss and turn and he'd move around. Well, that's what they said. And he does do that.
Yeah.
Because I tried to wake him up and it's like, "Brr," and I'm the same way. It's like, ah!
Yeah.
So.
But you can
they
validate a lot of
separate
the
beds.
energy that I
Yeah,
felt.
they didn't really get along.
Yeah.
I think they have
volatility.
past when I was young. There was possibly drug use, possibly a lot of alcohol. As we got older, me and my brother. I don't think my brother. He says he doesn't remember anything from his childhood, so I think he's choosing not to. But he was more spoiled, and I was a little bit. They were more strict on me. So, but I remember things. It wasn't happy. My parents were together, but it wasn't a happy home. Of course we were a Brady Bunch, and you wouldn't expect to be. But, back then it was like, oh, your parents are together, that's a great thing.
They were good on paper.
Not necessarily, but my mom had other issues, and that's another conversation we probably need to have. You feel a lot of things from her.
Yeah.
She just had really a bad childhood and brought it into her adulthood. So,
But she
That's a lot of the
That's why I
pain
feel
in
that sadness, that
just
chaos.
Yes.
sadness.
The mental illness went
Yeah.
through the genes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
my
why-
dad wasn't sympathetic or empathetic towards it, I don't think.
and some of that chaotic energy and the loathing and the depression and the anger and the anxiety and all of that all makes sense to me.
When you say she's trying to get him to listen,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
She's
I mean,
bad.
I think he just didn't understand.
Okay.
He wouldn't
Well,
understand.
It's called hearing but not listening.
Yes,
Yeah,
so he
because
was
he's
hearing
way
and
not
not
together.
listening. That
He's
could
not
be
absorbing
it.
it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Then
so
that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
that's validating.
yeah.
Just all, it's such a dramatic amount of energy all through the space. I mean, it's amazing that anybody does live here. To be perfectly honest,
Right.
I feel. I mean, but I want you to find new hope in this space and love in this space, and we can revamp the space energetically for you, but it will be up to you to keep that going.
Regular
I'm
Smith.
so sorry you have to feel this way though.
Oh,
My
no.
thing is,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, sorry. My thing is that I grew up here. We were in and out of this spot, living back and forth. My parents did what they could, but my grandma and my grandfather always had my back, always had our back. And we raised our kids here, and we want the same kind of memories that we had, whether it's, not to be crazy, but like a dog dying, or just having a barbecue and throwing fruit in the pool.
Yeah,
and
that's
everyone
why
gets
that's why I
together.
said
It's just-
at the beginning.
But
it's like,
right now
you
it's
want
so
to love the
toxic
home.
that ever
Yeah.
since she's passed, no one has agreed, no one has wanted to come here, no one
No,
wants
it's hard to
anything
even have
do
Maddox's
with
birthday
this.
here last year. It was so uncomfortable.
It's tough
Oh,
to do anything, to even breathe here, and the kids don't understand, but they can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son even talks to me like, can Maddox come out to your house? 'Cause
Yeah. That's why
please.
Maddox went over there
And I'm
last
like,
time.
So he-
dude,
he
like,
feels
you
it,
seeing
yeah.
something I'm not, like what's happening, like I love this spot, like why don't you want to be here?
It
Yeah.
used to be the place, every Friday
That's
night after a
Yeah.
long,
Which is why,
long week, we
why
come
she's
over
probably trying to
here
feed me.
and pizza and
She'll give
margaritas
you a
or
daiquiri too.
daiquiris.
daiquiris and different things.
Yeah.
And then as people got older, it subsided, but still this was always an open place. You can walk in, doors aren't locked, type thing. And then, but after she passed, even though everybody knew there was issues, we were okay with it, which is not okay, but we were okay with it because
More than enabling.
My-
She was okay with it.
she
Yeah.
Enabling is the
Yeah.
key word.
She fixed
Yeah.
it. She was the enzyme.
She fixed it. It didn't matter about her problems. Her grandchildren were here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her children were here.
So that put her
So-
focus in a more positive
Yes.
way.
Mhm.
So
Because
this is the
she
good
was-
things in her life that she embraced.
Which you cling to, yeah.
Yeah, and she claimed to because the past was horrific to her.
Right. And she never she
Right.
was never able
Well,
to work
So
through
she
that.
put
No.
her energy in us because
Yes, first
Yeah.
grandchildren, even the
Yeah.
second set of grandchildren feel her constantly and pain for her. So
the grandkids were like her redo.
yeah,
She's
because it just
still
wasn't.
she's still obviously here. It's clear that she's
Yeah.
here in this
Yeah.
space.
She loves this house. She
Yeah.
loved this house.
Still does.
She loved Sutter. She loved that garden.
This is her home.
Yeah,
Well, I
and
think
this
that,
is where everybody went.
I think
It
that
went-
maybe when she died, a lot of the painful energy that she buried for a long time became exposed.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
And so a lot of that has just now smattered across the entire
And
space.
it's stuck in here right
Yeah.
now.
So we need to wipe it out.
Let's do
Well, and
it.
even we understand. I understand. I mean, grandchildren are a little different, but I understand her past.
Yeah.
I understand what she went through. Me and her had a difficult time, but we made peace before Megan was born. So she was more like a friend. We still were mom and daughter, obviously, but she was more of a friend. So we had no difficulties once in a while.
Good.
But it's just normal
You
stuff.
reconciled the past.
We reconciled the past and then
For a
went
better
forward. So I just think that when she did pass, we found out things about her that she didn't want to reveal.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Everything was exposed.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Cleaning out her room.
All the
I didn't wanna
skellies
know
in
how
the
Yeah, I
closet
cleaned.
came out.
Yeah, we probably should have Aunt Mary here one day.
No, we should not.
That's a whole nother spiritual adventure.
Can't wait for that one.
Well, there is another. Is she alive or dead?
She's alive.
She's
Very
alive.
much alive.
You actually
there's-
might feel her spirit from here.
Well, honestly,
She'll
to be
probably
completely
tell me
honest,
what to do.
She'll tell
I
you what's
feel.
up.
No, I love her to death.
But there's other spirits here. There's more than but I feel like they're all connected in somewhere in the family. They're all connected, but we really need to reboot the space. And so I want to figure out if there's anything feeding the energy that's electromagnetic, explainable.
Yep.
I want to see if there's a food source for any of the energy.
It says it's an old house. It was only
Yeah.
76. It's-
And my house was built in 49,
Right.
finished in 50. But it's been dressed up and fixed
Right,
up a
Well,
few
this
times.
one was fixed by the man that doesn't like to hear anything from
Well,
anyone.
and it was
Ah.
only fixed because it flooded on the
Oh,
bottom.
geez.
Oh yeah, when
Yeah.
they
Or
were
you
gone
would
in
still
your-
had no
see
choice.
76 linoleum, 76 carpet, and 76.
Yeah.
He
It's like,
he
it's
lives.
fine.
He
Nicotine
lives,
was bleeding from the wall.
he lives in the
No, it
past.
still does.
Yeah, and they were
Yeah,
big
turn the shower on in
smokers,
the back
so-
of the
Yeah, I know. I was scrubbing that.
Yeah. I find it interesting
They're
that
not
you
being
didn't find
videos,
anything
yeah.
in the
I know they're
bathroom
packed
because
boxes, but-
It was like a
It was like empty
in the
empty.
space.
shower there. I don't know.
Well, I didn't get in the shower. but I could. What I
Wow.
think
Because
is,
that's a separate space from the.
Yeah, yeah,
main
yeah.
part of
but
the
what is
bathroom.
weird is
It's
it almost,
interesting.
it almost felt like everything was being sucked out of it like a vacuum, and I don't know why that is. There could be a distinct reason, and or the spirits are blocking me from seeing something.
Very well could have to do
They
with
will
that portal.
do that. Yeah, it could have to do with the portal. Everything could be being like sucked into a black hole.
hole, yeah.
So it's being
Yay.
so it's being sucked out of the space. It felt weird. It felt weird but empty. And I don't know why I felt that way. It just felt weird and empty.
Especially compared to the rest of the room.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a walkthrough with meters, so I'll go back in there and sit in it a little bit and see if I feel anything else in it. Or if the meters pick up anything.
Yep.
Because I almost feel like the energy is being sucked out of it and dumped into the middle of that bedroom, is what it feels like.
Portals. Yay.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.